Welcome to Community Connection. I'm your host, Sarah Clark, and today with me I have Colette Hadley, the Executive Director of the Scholarship Foundation of Santa Barbara. Welcome to the show, Colette.
Thank you, Sarah. Happy to be here.
So, Cox is very proud to be a partner with the Scholarship Foundation and just so excited about all the great work you do in the community. But I'd love to tell our guests a little bit more about the organization and what you do. So I'd love to start with why does the Scholarship Foundation of Santa Barbara exist? What's your purpose in our community?
Great question. Our mission is to help Santa Barbara County students pursue post-secondary education. So that might be vocational school, 2-year college, 4-year college, graduate school, or medical school. As long as they've originated here in Santa Barbara County schools, we want to help them go on to higher education. So we exist for that mission, but we also mainly exist because there's a great financial need in Santa Barbara County to help pay for higher education. Most people forget how expensive it is. K through 12 education is public and free, but beyond that, you've got to be able to pay for it.
Right. So tell me, what exactly do you do to get these kids these scholarships? What's the process? How does this all work?
Well, we start talking to families as early as we can with financial aid advising and counseling. That definitely we do at all the high schools in the county. But we also try to do some early awareness activities, lower grades than that. So we're talking to them in general about going to college or vocational school and pursuing post-secondary education and how important it is. And the other part of that conversation is how to pay for it. And so we spend a lot of time working with students and families in the county, taking them through the steps necessary to receive federal aid, state aid, institutional aid from the colleges themselves, and then aid from places like the Scholarship Foundation. So we manage a large program of funds we've raised ourselves and other funds that donors and organizations have given to us to manage for them to give away their money. So it's a countywide operation and one that helps a lot of students each year.
Wonderful. And tell me, how long has the organization been here and how long have you been with the organization?
Wow, the Scholarship Foundation just celebrated its 50th year last year. So 1962 is when we started. I've been with the organization 20 years this year, and the last, lucky to be there for that long. And the last, in my 7th year as executive director. Before that, I was the associate director and the program director. So I worked really directly with students and families. The Scholarship Foundation over time has really had a big impact on the county. In total, with this year's awards, we will be giving away about $80 million to about 73,000 students.
That is so impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. I mean, I know there's a huge need out there. So tell me more about who's involved in this organization and how the students find you or how you find them.
Well, you asked earlier about the process and how students find us, and to elaborate on that a little bit is they can first go to our website, which is sbscholarship.org. But in general, they can find us at their school sites. We also go out to the community sites with our outreach staff, talk to students, talk to their parents about how to apply. But the application process for them begins in their senior year. So the applications are available October 1st. For our large general scholarship program, the application deadline's the last business day of January each year. So it's a frantic day for the students and for us on our website every year on about January 31st. Then we spend the springtime evaluating applications and interviewing students, and we announce our awards in May each year. So in their high school senior year is when they apply.
Mm-hmm. And tell me a little bit about some of the trends or challenges that higher education is facing right now and how that applies to your industry and what you're doing.
Well, we are right on the cusp of a large number of changes, and they're just starting to happen. In general, I think people have read a lot about online education. But I don't know that they've really read enough or know enough now what's on the horizon in terms of the different types of education available. So first, overall, whether it's K through 12 education or higher education, but especially higher education, there's a large wave of customized education coming, meaning that students will often have a combination of going to a bricks and mortar campus. They might live on a campus like they might do now in a dorm at a 4-year university. But the likelihood is not all of their classes will be in a classroom live with other students and a professor. Some of those courses may be online at their own university they're attending. They might be at UCSB or Columbia or wherever they are, and some of those courses might be online and they might be sitting in their dorm room doing some of that work or in the library. or they might be in a classroom. And then beyond that, there'll be students that have experiences that are fully online, that they'll decide they want to do their education from their computer wherever they are in the world. They might be sitting in a coffee house, or they might be sitting in their bedroom at home, and they'd like to log on to an online university and pursue their education that way. And some of those will have opportunities then to also have tutorials and virtual classrooms and other things that they need to help them in their education. And some of those will also offer an in-person component. They might go once a week and meet with a class live and do the rest online. So there's a big wave of changes coming in higher education. Students are going to have a lot of options. The challenge is deciding what of those options are which of those options are best for you, the student, in your style of learning, how much assistance you need, and what's unknown right now is the pricing of those models. That affects our work quite a bit. How are students going to raise the money to pay for these things? Are they going to be less expensive, which would be wonderful, but are they going to have the same high quality and rigor?
Well, yeah, the landscape's really changing. It'll be interesting to see the trends and where that goes. And it's very interesting to hear more about it from you. So why do you feel that scholarships are so critical to student success? Why is it important for kids to get scholarships? What happens if they don't?
Well, I think it's pretty well known, but there's a lot of research that backs up that students, the most common reason they don't finish post-secondary education is usually a financial reason. And that might mean they go back to work more hours and they reduce their school units. It might mean they leave altogether. It might mean they have much lesser quality grades because they're working a lot of hours. And often it takes just a few $1,000s, $2,000 to $5,000 to make the difference for a student who's working a minimum wage job and trying to go to school, to keep them in school. It's estimated that the United States is going to need 62 million college-educated people to meet our workforce needs by the year 2025. Right now we're on track to produce 40 million. So we have a gap of about 22 million. Lots of people out there that can do the work, but we need to get them through college, and finances is often the key to that.
Yeah, and it's something that I know, people are looking in the community where to put their money, and this may not come up as first on their list, but there's definitely a need. So yeah, it's interesting to learn more about it. Well, Colette, tell me a little bit more about your favorite part of your job, and what's the most challenging and what's the most rewarding?
Oh gosh. Favorite part of my job, being the executive director of a nonprofit, is well, there's everything. I know people will say in general it's about the people, because it is. It's about the people who are contributing to the organization, who I love to meet with and find out their stories and why they're contributing, and they're incredibly generous. And secondly, it's about the stories of the students and the families coming to us. So I'd have to say it's about stories. It's about personal stories and the people involved, and how education can transform people's lives. That I never tire of that. That's always invigorating, and it's a real purposeful thing to go after a degree. It's a project. It's something you can do that we know betters your life, and allows you in general to go out and pursue a career where you can make more money. People with college degrees or even associate's degrees vote at higher rates, participate in their community at higher rates. That's what we all need to have a great society around us. The hard part about it is turning students away and turning families away. That's the part that brings us the most sorrow. It's very hard for us to do that. And I don't know that people might think they are a number to us because we deal with a lot of applications, but they're not. We're very personally invested in everyone we're dealing with, and it's really heartbreaking to turn students away without a scholarship.
And are you a great resource just to start for looking for scholarships? If a family doesn't know where to go, it sounds like they can go to you first. And
exactly.
You'll help them figure out a plan.
Exactly. We wholly recommend that every student in the county calls us up, emails us, goes to our website, lets us know that they need help. Just reach out, or when we have an outreach counselor at your school, talk to them. We will take you from step one all the way through the process. There are families we've talked to since they were in junior high, all the way up to the time they apply, and then all the way through college, and then sometimes all the way through graduate or medical school. So definitely form a relationship with us. We want to help you, and it's all free.
Wonderful. And so my last question, what motivates you to work so hard for this organization?
Oh, gosh. Like I say, the stories of the people I meet. But I'd have to say, in general, it's not only knowing the great need of the students and hearing from the families how grateful they are, but I'm really motivated by the genuine philanthropic interest that people have in Santa Barbara County to help others. It's really positive to be swept up in that and know that they look at the Scholarship Foundation as a place they can invest their dollars and feel good about the efficiency under which we operate and help students. It's a very simple concept. It's not complicated. It's giving people the money to go to college, getting them through, getting them in the workforce. And I think people can grasp that and they can see the results pretty quickly. So that motivates me quite a bit.
Well, thank you so much for all the hard work you do. Sure. I love your organization because it's, helping people on a personal level, their families, but it's an investment in their future and all of our future and in our community. So I think it's a wonderful place for people to support, and that's why Cox is happy to support you as well.
We're happy to have the support. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today and telling our audience more about the organization.
I appreciate it, Sarah. Thank you.
And thank you for watching Community Connection. We'll see you next time.